I think part of it is that it's close. It's a little bit easier for the North Koreans to strike, right? There's sort of less worry about, we launch an ICBM and it lands in, the Gulf of Mexico or something like that, right? I mean, the longer it is, the harder it is, the further the shot, the harder it is going to be control and guide. And also, as you said, I mean, there's a lot of American stuff there, right? So if a nuclear weapon were to fall there, there would be major American casualties. Also, it does have the benefit of striking the United States in the region and not Japan or South Korea, right? So it limits the escalation, sort of tit for tat, the war of words, to the Americans and the North Koreans.
Going back to U.S. President's comments that came just hours before this Guam warning or threat from North Korea, what did you make of that? Is that actually a policy of Washington or a politics of U.S. President? And what are the probabilities here?
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit concerned about what the president said. I mean, this is sort of pretty harsh language. It's hard to think of an American president who's spoken like this in the past. I think there's sort of the upside, or the optimistic way to read this, is that the president is using this sort of rhetoric because he's trying to obliquely pressure the Chinese to take more ownership of this thing, right? If he can look like he's scaring China, it's sort of like he's the madman, he's sort of kind of out of control, he might do something we don't know, then maybe the Chinese are going to say, wow, we really better sort of crack down on the North. That's the optimistic read, right? The less optimistic read is that the president has sort of shot his mouth off again. He's sort of doing orally what he does on Twitter, is sort of say stuff, and then things get sort of cleaned up later and people, sort of freak out about it. And that's what I think a lot of Korea, sort of analysts are worried about, right? And if you sort of look on Twitter and whatnot, since the president has said that, you have had this explosion of anxiety about what does this mean? What is the president going to do? Stuff like that. We're just not used to this kind of unpredictability coming from the American side. Normally you get it from the North Korean side.